Hello and welcome. My name is Vicky Flanagan and I want to welcome you to Sacred Sessions Ireland, where we gather online each week to connect the sacred land of Ireland. Díomh is Misha Vicky ní Lanagan, Fáilte Roibh Huig, Sesiún Mother Éire, Tagamid le chéile lína gach seachtain chun ceangal a thuthú leis an talún bheanathe d'Éireann. So you're very welcome. Sacred Sessions Ireland offers weekly meditations that connect us to the sacred sites of Ireland. So these sessions are for anyone that's interested in reconnecting with the land of Ireland, but also in reconnecting to the earth and practicing to be in right relationship with the land that, made our bodies, the land that made our ancestors, or, the land that just sustains us today. So everyone is welcome here. I do recommend joining live so you get to be part of a community and ask questions. I'm going to share my insights today, but as always, you're encouraged to let your intuition be in charge. So anything I share today, if it doesn't feel right or it doesn't resonate, you have absolutely no expectation to take that on as your own truth. So just know that today. So for today's session, we're going to take an energetic journey to County Cavan, and we're going to engage in sweet transformation with finger stones. So first of all, County Cavan is a great place. It's known as Lakeland County. So I only found out recently, I don't know how I didn't know this before, but I only found out recently there's 365 lakes in Cavan. So all of our lakes are kind of mostly there. It's such a lovely county. But finger stones is a row of mostly pillar stones. So those standing stones and it resembles a giant hand. And it's situated on the top of Shantemon mountain, which is more of a hill than a mountain, but it's on that summit. So that space now is like home to a giant conifer plantation. So it just means that all the trees kind of block the amazing views that are typically there. And also because it's a plantation, it can be quite noisy. So when I was there, it was really loud. But nonetheless, it is really scenic and beautiful space, and the views are supposed to be lovely. So it's kind of off the beaten track. So where the standing stones are, it's surrounded by forest, there's brambles, flowers, gorse. So it's just really harmonious, and it's just situated right in the heart of nature. So I was really lucky when I visited because the weather was lovely. The sun came out just as I arrived because it was a little bit hit or miss. And when I was there, I kind of felt like it was just me in the whole world. So it's such a lovely spot. It's not as say vast as other places that we would visit in Ireland. So it's so nice to go on your own, but obviously to be safe as well. There is a little bit of folklore, which I love, with the finger stones. So they do have other names. The most popular is Finn McCool fingers. So Finn McCool is known as this giant Celtic warrior in Irish folklore. And he is actually associated with so many heritage sites around Ireland somehow. So everywhere you go, there'll probably be a story linked to him. But according to this folklore, these kind of standing stones are supposed to be his hand when he lost a battle at Shantemon. So the fallen boulder is his thumb, and then the standing stones are his fingers. And even the middle stone is supposed to be the highest stone. So it's the tallest, it's over 6 foot, and it's like 4 tons or something. So they are quite like fingers. I'm going to just share a picture because it's always nice to have a visual. Let me see. It's going here. Okay, so there they are there. So that's like, I suppose that would be like the baby finger or the pinky finger, and then go up. And then over this side, you can't see, but there's, that would be like the thumb. It's like the fallen boulder. But that's kind of like a picture. And you can also Google if that's helpful as well. So yeah, it's nice to have it's nice to have a visual when we're doing the meditations, just to kind of imagine what it would be like if you were actually there in person. But what I would say is, for anyone that wants to go there in person, it's not very well like signposted. So when I arrived, I parked beside the road, and there was like this map that was there. It was like called the Castle Bar or the Millennium Trail to Fingerstones. So when I started on the path, I was like 20 minutes in, and then I realized I think I've gone too far. And I think that walk is like, you could probably walk for an hour or so, you know. So luckily I turned back. And I actually thought, I don't really feel comfortable like wandering around the forest, just in case. So I was actually going to call it a day and just say, you know what, I'll come back a different time when I figure out where it is. But instead, I could connect, say, the beings that are protecting this site, and I could feel that they were almost like calling me or helping me get there safely. So I tuned into my body, and yeah, I felt like my solar plexus lit up, and I kind of just followed that, if that makes sense. So as I turned around and I walked back down the trail, I actually, then I spotted the little like the path on the right hand side, and it's just like off the beaten path. So that kind of led then to the Fingerstone. So I let my body kind of bring me there, and I feel like it was stewarded by the wise women that are there to kind of protect the land. It kind of reminded me of, if anyone has read the book by Robin Wall Kilmer called Braden Sweetgrass, and she talks about the salamanders. So like on their journey back home, when they're mating, they have to mate in the same pond that they were conceived in and born in. So when they're born, they go off and they live in different places, and then so to come back to the pond that they were born in, the only way they know how to get back is to use their meridians in their stomach, and that aligns to the Earth's meridians, and they use it like a map and they find their way home. So it kind of reminded me of that, and it was the first time I ever like relied on my body to know the way. And that could also be down to like ancestral memory. It could be to my connection with the beings that were already, you know, at the site. I don't know, but yeah, it was really powerful. And I think if we can do that in a safe way, I think it's nice to practice. But yeah, once I saw the path, it actually was a little bit more obvious than I thought, but it could be better signposted for sure. When I was doing a little bit of research, and usually after I visit a site physically, I go home and do a bit of research. So I read that Shantemon means the old house of the women. And I also read that there, you know, people have heard over the years that there are 3 wise women beings that take care of the site. And they're like, they used to be the original keepers of Shantemon Hill. So, I mean, this site is supposed to be over 4,000 years old. It could be 7,000 years old, but it's really hard to know because it goes beyond recorded history. So at that stage, it just becomes guesswork. Like a lot of this work, especially in the Neolithic period and before that, it is guesswork, right? So that's why I really like this work in Sacred Sessions Ireland, because it gives us an opportunity to work with the unknown, and then using our own intuition, our bodies, our own beings and senses to be able to explore the land, and not need measurements or concrete facts in order us to determine our own beliefs or our own ideas and concepts about the land and what it can do. So that's why I really I'm grateful that we don't have like these concrete information, you know, recorded history for a lot of these sites, because I think it's really important to be completely open. Another word for these stones, which, you know, finger stones, another word is kissing stones. And this actually made me really happy to read this, because when I visited in person, I said hello to each individual stone, which would be typical for me, you know. So I went over, you know, I touched each stone, I said hello, and I felt really called to kiss each stone, which I never would really do that. But I just felt like, yeah, this feels right. And when I did, you know, just like a hello, it felt like I was holding reverence for relatives, you know, like as you greet your family. It felt like that. So that certainly wouldn't be the norm, but I felt really called to do that. And I was glad that I did follow my intuition, because reading that they're also called the kissing stones, but there's no other information about why that I can find anyway. It just validated my experience and that I trusted my inner calling to do that. And maybe there's a reason beyond my own comprehension. So I'm glad that I followed my intuition. And it just shows when you show up to these sites and you're given gifts, before we even give a gift, we say hello. So it's important, again, to do what you're called to do, and trust that. Stones are known as wisdom keepers in lots of different indigenous communities. And I know in Irish mythology, folklore, and just our history, stones are known as wisdom keepers. They're like the bones of the earth. So they hold the earth element, they hold our memories and our stories. And they honestly just give a visual representation of our ancient past. So even if we study the strata of the earth, it'll give us information about the earth's geographical history as well as past civilizations, right? So, you know, even science tells us these things. So when I think about that with the finger stones, and that they could possibly be over 4,000 years old, you know, I could have kissed a stone that my ancestors may have kissed, you know, part of ritual work or part of holding reverence. Through this work, we get to remember, we get to hold reverence and have soulful collaboration, actually. We're healing with energy that our ancestors likely healed with together. And also DNA that's within our own bones carries the programs that created us. So our grandparents' DNA, their 4 programs came together to make us. So our ancestors' programs, our ancestors' stories and wisdoms are all carried within us today, within our bones. So we can kind of look at ourselves and the bones as carrying that like innate wisdom, and also deeply kind of physical, practical wisdom and story and programs that today we can allow to kind of activate us, unlock different things within us, blessings and gifts, and also what's ready to maybe be released on a really deep level, on a bone, like that density level. And that could be part of programs that don't serve us today. When we're here, we're actually, when I visited the land, right, when I first walked on, I, you know, took in the scene, said hello, and made my offerings. And then I sat down in the middle of the digits, the stones, and it felt like I was sitting in the palm of Mother Earth, or even better yet, the palm of Ireland, of Mother Éire. So it was just really sweet, but also like a stark recognition that we're always held by the earth. The earth is like our ultimate mother, but we forget about it every day because it's just not really on our radar. You know, our everyday lives don't really give us that visual representation. And then we can kind of go about our day, take it for granted how held we always are. And it can also lead to like our own illusion that we're disconnected to like the unconditional love that's always present for us. So that unconditional love that's always there and available to us from the earth, from Ireland, or the land that we're on. So it was in this, like, you know, this moment where I realized, oh, I'm being held, you know, and I'm always held. But it was that feeling because I was sitting in what looked like the palm of Ireland that I just felt this like deep release. And it was that feeling of being held that allowed me to feel safe enough to be able to sink into that surrender, to be able to release. And I think that's honestly how we become more authentic, abundant, happy, or loving. It's not by like doing the right thing according to what our mom and dad wants us to do or what society wants us to do. I think it comes from doing whatever it takes to let love in. Right. So that's kind of what I hope to almost replicate today, or not even replicate, but offer, facilitate a session but we get to be in the palm of Mother Éire, so that we can find that sweet release, that surrender. You know, it took me, before I moved back to Ireland, I lived in Canada for 7 years. So moved there in 2014 and moved back in 2021. And, you know, I always say that I healed so much when I was in Canada. It took me living away from Ireland to heal. You know, and you hear differently, even poets and writers talk about how sometimes it takes that to live away from the country you're from in order to like have that deep appreciation or love for your country. And what I'm finding now is I don't think I needed to leave Ireland to heal so that I could come back and love Ireland. I actually think I needed to leave Ireland, heal, so that I could receive or even feel the love that Ireland has for me. You know, so I think that was the transformation, really. Healing enough so that I could let that love in, and then continue to let that transform as well. So, you know, sitting at this site in the presence of these wise beings, the women beings, the stones, my ancestors, it was a really potent reminder of how held we are. And then, you know, I just burst into tears. And it wasn't because I was really sad or really happy. It just felt like a physical release was needed. And I just kind of let it happen. So, you know, if that happens today, if we do have a release, that's fine. I think the mind wants to come in and be like, label what's going on, what's being released. And I think we can just give our conscious minds a complete rest today for this session, and just allow our different parts, different aspects of ourselves to just be present and allow for whatever wants to happen. So I felt really safe, and it was the safety that led to this loving place where, you know, I just felt home. You know, it's like, you know, when you're traveling and you're on a really long journey and all you want is your bed, and finally you get home and you just put your head in the pillow and you just, that's it, lights out, you just go to sleep straight away. It just feels so good and you feel really safe and you just pass out. It's kind of like that. It was like, God, I've been waiting so long just to put my head down. It was like a cocoon, like feeling safe, safe enough to let love in. And I think that's really important, because we often think we need to keep getting rid of different things in our energy, which is true. I think clearing is so important, and that's what's going to happen today. But we think that that's what's going to transform us. Truly, what is going to transform is more of our essence, or more of love, unconditional love, specifically that we can get from the earth. And that's what can allow a sweet transformation. So as I said, you know, your mind's going to want to come in and wonder what's being released. Same thing happened to me when I was there. Why am I crying? Oh my God, I feel a release. What's being released? And all I heard was the land saying, just be still. It's okay. You don't need to know. Just trust. And I think this is because, you know, it's normal for the mind, even our ego, something that's fear-based, to want to label what's leaving. So it knows, should I hang on to it tighter? You know, should I cling? Should I attach? Should I grieve? Should I put up a fight? And that's why I think it's important to allow our conscious mind and our mind just to rest and trust. It can be really foreign for people that are like doers, which would be me as well, right? And especially, I think women in general, to be still and to receive can actually feel really uncomfortable. But in the land's embrace, right? So in this scene and this land's embrace, it felt so good on mind, body, and soul that I actually just didn't even want to disturb it. So I just let my mind rest. It just felt like bliss. So to sit in the palm of Éire, to sit in the palm of Ireland, is to surrender to the collection of innate wisdom that's available to us, the wisdom of Ireland, the earth, the stones, our ancestors, and the beings that protect these lands as well, including our own essence. So surrender is not about stopping, it's not about giving up. Rather, it's about letting go of anything that just doesn't belong to us anymore, anything that's stagnant or just simply doesn't matter, doesn't contribute to our purpose, our goals, or our well-being. So a lot of the time we get confused about what matters and what actually doesn't matter. You know, like I said, the ego is going to want to come in and try to convince us something that might really matter. because of the attachments that's there, you know, or tell us that we need to suffer because something needs to leave. So it's not always needed, and it's not always necessary to label or to know what's leaving in order to let go. Maybe it's more efficient to just trust and go with it, you know, go with the flow. Most likely, what energy that is being released today is going to be energy that blocks us from opening to gifts, to unlocking blessings, to being authentic and whole, or just to connect the land that you're living on, the land that you're from, or the land of Ireland, right? So most likely that's what's going to happen today. So as we let go, we're going to create lots of space to allow love in and allow it to soothe the parts of us that are afraid, or those parts of us that want to be touched and transformed by it. So it might sound really big, but honestly, it just feels like a big hug. And being held like this, just for me, and maybe for you too, and it could be something to journal on, or to focus on a different time or after this, but for me, it begs the question, what does it mean to be held? You know, and what does it mean to hold another? Whether that's, you know, the earth, like how can we hold the earth? And maybe relationships in our lives, how can we hold? And I think that's something we can explore today, you know, in the meditation or journal afterwards. Because I think I had a different definition of what it meant to be held before I did this. So I don't want to input everything I think it is. You know, I've shared a little bit. You're welcome to let those ideas sit outside your aura, sit outside your space. And after today's session, you might have your own findings or insights. So we will now move into meditation. So you're welcome to get comfy for this. As I said, it's going to be a lot of receiving, not so much doing. So you're welcome to get comfy, and yeah, we'll just kind of come into the space together. So maybe just rolling the shoulders back, taking a few deep breaths. And just kind of sinking into the space that you're in. And we're going to come together as a group. So let's just come together. We can just imagine now that there is a beautiful bubble that surrounds our entire group. And that will be for people that are here live today, and also people that will be watching this as a recording. So we're here together as a group. We're going to ground our container. So let's bring up a really beautiful earth cord, and this can be from deep in the earth, maybe the core of the earth. Just allow this earth cord, whatever color it is and texture it is, to move up through the soil and attach to the bottom of our bubble. And we're going to also welcome in universal energy. So above our container, we're going to imagine some universal light energy pouring into our container. Lots of sparkles, connecting us to the cosmos and also the earth. Let's welcome in our guides and our vaster wisdom. Asking our guides to collaborate. Let's also welcome in the energy, the land of finger stones, vortexes that would like to support us today. And we're just going to get comfy in our group container, make sure everyone has lots of space. We're going to say hello to one another. We're going to set some intentions for being here today. So we're going to set the intention that we're all welcome, that this is a safe space to explore and learn more about ourselves. We're going to reconnect with the land of Ireland. We're going to rebuild our connection to Ireland, to the earth, rebuild our sense of belonging. We're going to set the intention to release energies that are ready to be released from all aspects of ourselves, the level of our body, our subconscious mind, our conscious mind, our soul, our essence. We're also going to open to whatever would be the most supportive, auspicious, and timely amount to open to new possibilities, to unlocking new levels of authenticity, to be able to hold more of our own authenticity and light, and to even open to and assimilate more of the earth's love for us. And our ancestors that are wanting to be here, they're welcome to sit outside our group container and just watch what we're doing. We can afterwards send them copies or templates. We'll be sure to offer healing back towards our lineage as well. And if there's any personal intentions that you'd like to set, even if they seem not necessarily in line with the theme of sweet transformation, that's okay. Any prayers or intentions are welcome here today, so you're welcome to drop them into the container. And we're just going to allow the earth energy to pour into the container to contribute to all of our intentions, to share the earth's insights, wisdom. We're going to welcome in universal energy to collaborate and contribute to our intentions. We can imagine that there's a magnet on either side of our container, of our group bubble, and any energies that do not complement or support our intentions get to be released into those magnets. We can also lastly set the intention that whatever is needed for our next breakthrough gets to happen today. So we're together now as a group, and we've started on the trail to finger stones. And we've got lovely supplies with us. We've brought some offerings, physical and energetic. We have comfy yoga mats and blankets. Maybe a nice hot drink. And as we're walking up the trail, we start to feel the energy of finger stones, the energy of the beings here. You can just notice how it feels in our body. Maybe even what parts of the body are lighting up in remembrance or recognition of these energies. And before we enter the site of finger stones, we're going to just reset our energy, working on our own personal aura. So let's bring our attention to our own personal bubble, our own energy bubble that surrounds us. We're going to reground, refresh our grounding cord. So let's imagine a brand new earth cord from deep in the earth. Just going to travel up through the earth soil to attach to the bottom of your feet. And allow this earth cord to get as wide as your aura. It can get as wide as your shoulders, or maybe even 3 foot wide. And we're just going to release any energy that's inauthentic into that earth cord. Energies from your day, energies from the dream realm, any ancestral energies that we're holding. We're just going to release these. If we're holding anything familial or societal, gets to be released into that earth cord. And we're going to welcome in a universal cord. So this energy is going to move in from the top of our aura and just allow it just to pour in. I like to imagine universal energy as like golden light, lots of sparkles. Just allow that universal energy to show up whatever way, whatever colors and textures for you. And just we're going to allow the universal energy to pour into our aura, moving through all of the different layers. Just like the sun, it's just going to burn away any energy that doesn't belong to you. Even send energy back to its higher self or authentic person. And we're going to recall our authentic energies. So we can choose a symbol that represents our authentic energies. That can be a shade, a flower, a seashell. And just allow this symbol to sit in front of you. And we're going to ask our guides to assist us, and we're going to recall our authentic energies into that symbol. Recalling our energies back from all dimensions of space and time. And our guides are going to enhance our energies, bless our energies, and update them. Noticing what color your energies are, or colors. Noticing what vibe your authentic energies are. And your guides are going to support in beaming our energies back in from the bottom of our feet, all the way up to the top of our head, just filling in any spaces and any gaps. And now just notice how your aura feels, if it wants to strengthen anymore, if it would like any colors, any other frequencies before we go into this site. So we're going to, again, move as a group, and we're going to walk into this really beautiful scenic place, this sacred land. Feel free to kick off your shoes. The sun is shining, the grass is dry. And as we walk in, we're going to meet these wise women. So there's 3 wise female beings that protect this land. And they've been calling us here. They're so grateful that we're here. They're excited to share this land with us today and the healing properties of this land and collaborate with us today. So let's just say hello to these women. We can hug them, maybe give them gifts. We're going to honor these beings and just thank them for protecting this land, for welcoming us here today. You can tell them your name, where you're from, maybe why you're here. what your hopes and dreams are. Then we're going to bring our attention to the stones. So there are, again, these giant standing stones, the tallest 6 foot, maybe not that giant, but they resemble a hand. So we have the fallen boulder, which is the thumb. And then we're going to walk over to the fingers and say hello to those standing stones. And again, just whatever you're called to do. If you feel like placing a hand on each of the stones, if you feel like hugging them, embracing them, maybe a kiss. No, that they are called kissing stones. And we're going to introduce ourselves to the stones and to the site. Again, what our names are, where we're from, what year it is, and what our hopes and dreams are. And we're just going to offer healing and offer our support to this site and these stones. So we've said hello. We can even wait for a hello back. And we're going to ask the site what it needs from us, or how can we support it and what it's up to. And you know, the women beings might want to offer some suggestions, so we can let them offer their suggestions. And sometimes they can be kind of like more practical with regards to the physical site itself. So we can make commitments, or we can offer something similar or close to. We can even ask each stone, or allow each stone a voice so that it can share what it would like specifically. And we're going to say yes to their needs. We're going to offer some really beautiful energies to this site. We can offer, I like to connect the site with the earth, having its very own grounding cord so it can hold the complexity and the vastness of the site. So we can bring up a really big earth core to hold this site. I like to also connect it with universal energies. For me, I said universal energies, I like to see gold and sparkles. And then this site kind of explained that it would prefer if the universal energies look like a night sky, because that feels like home, right? So we can just allow whatever universal energies the site would like to connect to bring those in as well. We're going to We're going to offer energies of gratitude. We can offer a whole ocean of gratitude. We can offer really loving energies from our heart center. We can bless the land. If there's any other gifts that you'd like to offer, now is the time to do that. Maybe each stone would like a different color frequency. We can wash over the stones, whatever colors they would like. And we're just going to take a seat now in the palm of this giant hand, the palm of Mother Éire. So we can get comfy on the grass. Again, just noticing the scenery around us, the flowers, the gorse, the trees that are behind the stones. Just recognizing that we're in this safe haven. We can feel the sun on our skin, we can hear the birds. Just allow your body just to sink into this scene, just to sink into the earth. Just allowing the full weight of your body to be held gently and wholly, just held here. Notice how good that feels in your body. Notice the places in your body that maybe light up, the kind of welcome for this invitation to surrender. Feeling like what parts of the body are already letting go of tension, heaviness. Notice the places that are already saying yes. Might feel like your stomach, your solar plexus, maybe your arms. And we're going to watch as the stones and this land is going to offer us the healing. And the stones are going to assist the land in washing over our entire being with the elements. First, we're just going to refresh our grounding cord, welcome up a brand new earth cord. And we can imagine that there's a magnet in front of you and a magnet behind you, and just start releasing energies into those magnets. And the stones are going to assist in bringing up earth energy to wash over our entire aura with earth energies. The earth's going to wash through anything dense, any energy that's stuck or blocked. The stones are going to help in bringing up some water. And just allowing this nourishing and soothing water to wash over our auras. And just all of our aspects of who we are receiving a healing right now. Our soul, our mind, our body, even our essence. The element of fire. And the fire energy is going to wash over auras. And again, it's going to transmute anything that is inauthentic, any cords of enmeshment, karmic energies that are ready to be transmuted. Even contracts and vows and agreements can be all completed in the background. And the stones are going to help calling in the element of wind and allowing this wind to wash over us, offering a final clearing and healing to all of our aspects and identity. We're also going to welcome in the cosmic energies, those universal energies, and just allow them to wash over our aura, moving through all layers, densities, dissolving energies, enlightening energies. Just remembering that you're ready, and you're ready for this release. Notice as new layers gently soften and open, allowing our energy centers to be nourished, allowing our essence and our soul to be nourished, and allowing the needs underneath those aspects of us to be nourished. And remembering that this is a coming home. This might be a coming home to Ireland, and it could be a coming home, or it is a coming home to the earth. Just that recognition that the earth is always holding us. And it's in this coming home that we allow ourselves to be renewed, even reborn. Our self-concept and our self-talk gets to be reset. We can even go one level deeper into our bones. So let's bring that universal energy to hold any deeper resistance or tension that's held in our bones. And we're going to honor those layers, honor any layers of guarding or tension. Most likely helped us to survive throughout the decades or centuries. The wisdom that's held in our bones. And we can allow the stones and the wisdom, the innate wisdom within the stones, to kind of say hello to that innate wisdom within us. Just allow that to open. And as we give permission for it to gently drop in, we can even welcome any stories, emotions, and programs that are underneath. We're just going to say hello to them and allow them to choose what support will be most appropriate. Maybe some earth energy to wash over, Nourishing and soothing water. Maybe we'd like to choose some fire energy or wind, or maybe a color would feel the most supportive. And we're going to allow the energies of the land of finger stones to wash over our auras, allowing the land to completely soothe and nourish our bones, the muscles around our bones, our blood, our organs, and just on a cellular level, our skin, just allowing anything that's ready to be released, continuing to be released into the earth. And just allowing the energies of the land just to flow through our channels. We're going to allow this to reset our self-concept and identity, our relationships, belief structures, our reality. We're going to open our permission for your relationship with the land of Ireland to deepen, to strengthen. Open our permission with our relationship with Earth to deepen and strengthen. We want to integrate all these energies and blessings. And we're going to allow each stone to offer transmission. We're going to begin with the pinky stone on the left. I'm going to just say hello. Offer this stone some really beautiful energies and blessings. And just allow this stone to bless you right back. We're going to move to the stone next to it on the right. And we're going to say hello to this stone. We're going to offer it blessings, really beautiful, loving energies. And we're going to allow this stone to bless us right back. We're going to move on to the stone next to it, the middle stone. We're going to say hello and offer it some blessings, really beautiful energies. And as we bless this stone, we're going to allow it to bless us right back, offering a transmission. Any karma that's ready to be released, we're going to allow that to be completed now. Our guides can help us with this. Any contracts that are ready to be completed or cancelled and updated, again, our guides are going to help us with this. And just trust it's happening. We're going to move our attention now to the stone to the right. This would be the index finger stone. And we're going to say hello and just bless this stone. Infuse it with lots of light and love and blessings. Really beautiful healing energies. And we're going to allow this stone to bless us right back. And it's going to offer us a transmission that would be really supportive on our journey and complement all of our intentions and goals today. Let's move our attention to the thumb. So that's the fallen boulder to our right. I want to say hello. Again, blessing the stone, thanking it for all it's done. And this is an outlier stone, so it looks after the site as well. And just allow it to bless you right back. Just integrate all these energies and blessings. We're going to allow this energy to heal our present time or present reality. We're going to send this energy back in time to younger versions of ourselves. We're going to send this energy back in time through our lineage for any of our ancestors that would like to receive this healing, this sweet transformation, gentle release. Just templates for what it feels like to let love in. Recognizing that maybe there's some parts of us that have received this kind of love for the first time in a really long time. And we're going to allow that to ripple out into our own lives, to our communities, into the greater world. We're going to allow this healing energy to move forward, connecting to the most supportive and aligned timeline. And before we say goodbye or leave, we're just going to sit for a moment and allow those 3 women beings to just assist us or support us in any adjustments that are needed. They may want to come over and ground us. They may be kind of removing or dusting off energy from our physical body. They may be kind of anointing us almost with like essential oils. I'm going to say thank you. And we're going to say thank you to the site. So let's wash over the site with some, again, really beautiful cosmic energies. Lots of sparkles. We're going to allow the wind to blow from the east to pick up any of our energetic debris, carry it out to the west to be recycled by the universe. We're going to pick up anything that belongs to us. We're going to say goodbye for now, thanking the guides, the other mystical beings that live here and play here. And we're going to come back into our group container. I'm going to thank the earth, bless the earth, thank the universe, and bless the universe. We're going to thank our guides for their support today. Bless our guides. Allow our guides to bless us back. We're going to send each other's energies back, recalling our energy from each other's spaces, recalling our authentic energies through all dimensions of space and time. Our guides are going to assist in updating and enhancing our energies and beaming them back in. We're going to refresh our grounding cord, bringing up a brand new earth cord to attach to the bottom of our feet, allowing it to get as wide as our aura. Any structures that are in our field that are ready to be released can be released into the earth. We're going to ask the earth to choose really supportive and auspicious structures and even vortexes that would like to work with us today. And just allow them to just move into our field and structure our field if that feels supportive. And then let's welcome in lots of sparkles above our head, that universal energy. And then whenever you're ready, you can open your eyes and come back to the video. So thank you so much for taking your time to watch this video and reconnect with Ireland. If you have any questions, you're welcome to reach out and let me know.